So I think you guys know how the story goes on these. With these types of videos, I try to not really edit them all that much. It's kind of me in the raw, just me brainstorming thoughts off the top of my head with very little cuts, very little edits, although that sometimes does change in the post-production process of my videos. But I kept silent about this subject for a while, and now I've kind of reached my boiling point, and a friend of mine had done a Grace Randolph video before. I'm not gonna name him out of respect, and I don't want any negative comments flowing his way. All the negative comments, you can spew them right down here in the comments section. I know that there's gonna be a bunch of negative comments coming in. I don't care, I can handle it, because let's just face it, we need to cancel Grace Randolph already. This lady needs to get out of the business. If you don't know who Grace Randolph is, she has a YouTube channel called Beyond the Trailer, which just spews bullshit upon bullshit and spam upon spam, and somehow, I do not know how, she made her way into Zombieland Double Tap, almost as if she's like this a powerful media figure or something, and I saw that in the theater and I was just like, get off the screen. You have no right to be here. And like I said, I've stayed silent on the subject up until now because right now I have had it with this lady. I am so fed up with this lady, her spewing her bullshit lies, her just trying to get clickbait arguments, her coming up with arguments that don't even make any sense, and then backtracking on those arguments in a way to defend herself when she already put herself in a hole. This lady, look, from what I know, she lives on the East Coast. She gives us East Coast critics, East Coast journalists, East Coast movie lovers a bad rep. This is not the way we as East Coasters want to be represented. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, she's throwing a hissy fit on Twitter about Birds of Prey with the director of Birds of Prey, Kathy Yan, about something about how the theatrical cut of Birds of Prey didn't have any dick pics or something, and how that cut tested better with test audiences. I don't know, it's something stupid like that. The moment I got a message seeing that Grace Randolph was spewing this nonsense and she was arguing with Kathy Yan, I'm like, Kathy Yan, you just already won. Kathy Yan knows what's going on with her movie. If she says there's no cut where there were dick pics, is this coming out of nowhere? Was this something Grace said previously in the past? I have no idea, so I don't know where this whole dick pics thing is coming from.
There's no hope for humanity.
But if Kathy Yan says they weren't in the movie originally, and there wasn't an original cut with the dick pics, there's no dick pics. She made the movie, Grace Randolph did not make the movie. So Grace Randolph starts throwing this hissy fit, and she like, I can't see her tweets, unfortunately, because I'm blocked, and I don't even know what the hell I did. But she's like, here's a screenshot of a receipt that says there are. Okay, first of all, a screenshot is a receipt. No, a receipt is a piece of paper with a list of items that you bought or that you paid for. That is not a receipt. That's a picture. That's a picture of a tweet. That is not a receipt. And she keeps going on, and everybody in the comments is just praising Kathy Yan. Kathy Yan, please run for president now. I will vote for you. So I just don't understand how Grace Randolph thinks she's gonna win this argument, because she keeps going on and on about this argument. And she's like, no, I have this receipt. Like, no, there were dick pics in another cut. Like, it doesn't make sense. This is just her trying to get clickbait in the same way that she's always been trying to get clickbait. This needs to stop. I do not know how anybody can support Grace Randolph and the Behind the Trailer YouTube channel. It completely baffles me, because do you believe a single word she says? This is a message for her followers and her her YouTube channel supporters. Did you believe her when she said that Disney got all of the studios that they own together to fire Kathleen Kennedy? If you did, well, hate to break it to you, but one, Kathleen Kennedy just got a 3-year extension for Lucasfilm. And two, like, why would Disney even do that? That just makes no sense in the world whatsoever. Was Disney just like, all right, we're gonna have somebody from Lucasfilm go to Kathleen Kennedy and tell her, hey Kathleen, Disney told Pixar to tell National Geographic, to tell Disney Animation, to tell Marvel Studios, to tell Miramax Films, to tell Touchstone Pictures, to tell all of us at Lucasfilm, to tell everybody in the Star Wars fandom, the fandom menace, that you're fired. I'm pretty sure that did not happen.
Because if you think that happened, how? Like, she got a 3-year extension and one studio calls together other studios that they own and other production companies that they own to tell somebody else, to tell those production companies that somebody from another production company that they own gets fired. I don't know how she came up with that.
You still think that she's this great, wonderful YouTuber who spews the truth and nothing but the truth, so help me God? How about the fact that she said Birds of Prey failed at the box office because the female characters lacked sex appeal and had nose rings? I don't know. I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. We need to stop her. You still don't believe me? How about when she didn't even realize that Jojo Rabbit was meant to be satire, and she literally blamed Taika Waititi for creating something that glorifies Hitler and glorifies the Holocaust, and they're just making light of a terrible situation. It was something stupid like that. I have no idea who dropped this baby on her head when she was little. How does she not see that Jojo Rabbit is supposed to be satirical? It's a satirical movie about World War II and Hitler, a kid whose imaginary friend is Hitler. It's not supposed to be realistic. It's a satire, Grace. Look up satire in the dictionary and tell me what the definition of satire is, because you clearly do not understand it. Grace Randolph is just a mess. Everybody's going crazy on Twitter about this. She won't even let that whole thing go. I keep getting notifications from people saying, hey man, she's not even letting this go. You should check out her tweets. Surprise, surprise, Grace. You may have blocked me on Twitter, but you blocked my main account. I have another account, so I can view your tweets and reply to you. And not to mention, you're just getting burned by the entire film Twitter community. Everybody is singing the praises of Kathy Yan. Nobody is singing the praises of you, lady. Okay? So what gives you the right to question a director on a cut that most likely, I'm taking Kathy Yan's word for this, doesn't exist? How are you saying that it does exist when the director you're literally questioning says it doesn't exist? Kathy Yan's in the right here. I'm taking her side, as everybody should. Stop spewing your stupid little incessant bullshit all over the place, Grace. We have all had enough of your stupid little, pretty little lies. We've all had it with just how vile you are to everybody in the film community. Oh my god, he said something I didn't like. Block. Yeah, like that's really gonna do anything. Why don't you kick them off your YouTube channel or something? Oh wait, you probably can't do that either because you don't know how. You're incompetent at your job. You can't think of a good critical analysis. You come up with all of these different reasons for not liking a film that just don't make sense, and then 5 minutes later, you backtrack on it and you try to use that as your defense for saying why you didn't like it, but you're really coming across as you do like it. I have no idea where you're coming from. You even made it into a movie like Zombieland Double Tap. Like, how? How? Who? Who was just like, we need a reporter, let's go get Grace Randolph? Who, like, was somebody who was just like, Grace Randolph is one of the best film journalists on the planet. We need her for the Bill Murray scene in Zombieland Double Tap. Why didn't I think of that, Johnny? That's so great. Nobody in the face of the earth thought that. Here's how I equate Grace Randolph. Grace Randolph is the equivalent of We Got This Covered. clickbait material, trying to get views and people to see your tweets, and spewing absolute bullshit, nonsense, fake news about the film community. But you know what the difference between We Got This Covered and Grace Randolph is? We Got This Covered doesn't go on Twitter and block followers that tell them, hey, your shit's false, stop reporting this, or stop posting clickbait articles. They just let it go. They actually have some dignity in that regard, even though they're still spewing bullshit. I mean, seriously, don't trust We Got This Covered. You know what, though? I would actually trust We Got This Covered over Grace Randolph. If there were only 2 journalists on the face of this earth, and they both spewed bullshit, and it was We Got This Covered and Grace Randolph, I'd go with We Got This Covered. Because at least they handle themselves with dignity. They don't actually go around trashing somebody's movie. They don't go around arguing with directors of that movie, saying that that director is wrong about their own goddamn movie. So they can at least have somewhat of class, even though they just spew bullshit upon bullshit upon bullshit. Grace Randolph occupies another spectrum of We Got This Covered. She's like, We Got This Covered on like steroids or ecstasy or something. That is, look, Grace Randolph needs to stop. She needs to actually learn how to be a journalist, how to be an actual good film critic, instead of complaining about a movie not making enough money because people had nose rings, which is the dumbest argument I've ever heard against a movie. And she needs to learn how to handle herself professionally instead of blocking people on Twitter. On Twitter, she's the equivalent of Donald Trump. There, I said it. She's the equivalent of Donald Trump. She is the film community's Donald Trump. And Kathy Yan, if you run for president, I'm voting for you right here, right now, this day, this moment, this second of 2020. Kathy Yan's response to Grace Randolph's stupidity and bullshit is the best thing to come out of 2020 so far. Better than The Invisible Man. And I love that movie. And it's not like Grace Randolph hasn't got called out before. Of course she has. She's just too oblivious to even know that she's doing something wrong. Ugh, give it a break, lady. You're not winning this battle with Kathy Yan. You're not reporting correct. You're not reporting media or reports that are true. Your so-called receipt is not a receipt. It's a screenshot. So yeah, the next time you want to say there's a bunch of studios that are trying to fire the head of another studio, and those studios get together with the big media conglomerate, and that person they're trying to fire gets a 3-year extension, why don't you try and report on that? Report the facts. That's what reporting's about. Learn to do your job. Stop this incessant bullshit right now. I have had enough. We have all had enough. I do not understand how anybody can support Grace Randolph. This is childish behavior. It needs to stop right now. This is the beginning of the cancel Grace Randolph party. Peace out.